What is going on, my fellow gamers? Welcome back to the channel. It is D Werewolf Gaming here, back with another Remnant 2 video. Alright guys, I hope everybody is doing well and staying safe out there. Today I bring you an amazing build. It's very fun to play, guys. You will kill these bosses pretty quickly. As I hope you've seen in the gameplay, that was enough to show you just how powerful this build is. Alright, so I don't know if you know or not, guys, but status effects are running the show right now, in my opinion, on Apocalypse in Remnant 2. And with that being said, guys, the introduction of the monolith long gun just made it even better. This build today will focus on using the corrosive acid build, guys, to apply as much corrosive damage as you can to be able to kill these bosses pretty quickly. With that being said, guys, I want to give a big thank you for everyone who continues to support me on the channel. And if you're new here today and you like the content, guys, please feel free to hit the like, share, and subscribe. All right, guys, and I want to say those who always leave comments or give me a thumbs up is very I appreciate it a lot, and those who always have something positive to say really means a lot, guys. All right, with that being said, guys, this build is so powerful. You will see in the gameplay I will die on this boss fight right at the end, guys, and make one simple mistake. One biggest problem you will see is that whenever that sandstorm is going on, sometimes it makes it hard to see when you're moving around, and that's what caused me to die. But even when I did die, guys, as you see in the gameplay, this build is so powerful, I still managed to kill Cancer. You know, even because when I got back up, you know, I thought I was going to be able to, you know, fight him over, but I got here and he was dead. All right, so let's go over this build. I did use the Archon as my prime class, and you get Tempest as the prime perk. It automatically regenerates 15 mod power per second. Casting mod doubles this for 10 seconds. Chaos Gate was my skill. It comes to the 8.57 meter unstable zone, which grants stacks of Unbridled Chaos. This lasts for 20 seconds. Unbridled Chaos allies gain 0.7% to all damage dealt and receive 0.3% damage taken. And this stacks up to 50 times. And anytime you have stacks, guys, you're going to have mod generation by 10%. You get Power Leak. That's your first trait. Using the relic grants 100 mod power for both equipped mods weapons. You get Spirit Within. This reduces mod power requirement per charge by 10%. You get Power Creep. After casting a mod, 10% of the mod power spent will be regenerated by all allies over 10 seconds while Power Creep is active. All right, you get Amplify. This basically increases mod damage by 50% and grants 10% mod critical chance. All right, I did use the Ritual as my secondary. Miasma was my skill. It creates an AoE burst, applying bleeding, corrosive, and burning to enemies, guys. Just amazing. All right, your first trait is called Wrath. This increases all damage to enemies affected by a negative status effect by 25% and increases all critical chance. All right, you get Terrify. Killing an enemy applies Terrify to an enemy within 5 meters. They also drop ammo, and more likely to drop ammo as well when they are terrified. All right, you get Dark Blood. This reduces damage received from negative status effects by 25% and blight by 50%. Get Purge. Basically, guys, whenever you use a relic, it removes it and applies to enemies within a certain distance. All right, your armor does not matter as usual. I did use the Shielded Heart on this particular build. And as you can see, I had 10% elemental damage, 10 mod damage, and 20% mod and skill cast speed. All right, the monolith long gun started to show. The longer you fire, guys, you apply exposed to these enemies, and that does 15% to all damage. All right, you get a sandstorm. If that sandstorm basically targets that particular enemy, when that enemy dies, it will move on to another enemy, and it boosts up the elemental damage. I did choose the Spell Weaver Mutator because this increases the weapon's mod damage and mod generation by 15% for 10 seconds when activating the skill. And at level 10, activating this weapon mod reduces skill cooldown by 1%. For every 100 mod power spent, you're going to constantly be spending mods, spamming your mods, so you're going to be getting the most benefit using this particular mutator. All right, I did use the Crow Axe and the Huntress weapon as well, guys, but the Crow Axe, you throw it, you apply shock and corrosive, while I am using the Tainted Blade to be able to apply corrosive, and it uses less stamina. That's one reason why I did use that on certain bosses in my gameplay. Now, I was using the Huntress, guys, spear to be able to apply more corrosive when I was fighting some of these bosses as well. Just amazing weapon to use as well. So ultimately is whatever you prefer. Since this is a corrosive based build, the Nebula was perfect. You shoot it, guys, applies corrosive damage. It also releases Nano Swarm that seeks out the enemies and does continuous damage over time. And I did choose to use the Feedback Mutator using this weapon mod that generates 20% of a single charge as passive mod, And whatever you're using, guys, you're constantly going to be getting mod back. All right, Catalog Law's Jewel to get 10 mod regen. Now, I did use the Kinetic Cycle Stone. This increases mod and skill cast speed by 20%. And guys, you even get more damage. You could have easily went with the ring, the acid stone ring. This gives you basically 15% more acid damage and 20 resistance to acid. Or you could have easily went with Burden or Destroy as well. This increases all damage by 15%, but you do lose ideal range by 35%. Ultimate is whichever you prefer. I like the faster cast speed to be able to cast my mods and skills pretty fast. Shadow Mystery, this increases status effect damage by 20%. And Timekeeper's Jewel, guys, this allows the status effect to stay on these enemies longer, and that's how you kill them faster. Increases acid damage by 25% and corrosive damage by 50%. All right, so take a look at my weapon stats. Had critical damage of 50%, bonus damage for everything 50%. That's when we're in the Burden and Destroyer. 10% elemental damage, 60% mod damage, mod crit chance 10%, 20 status effect damage, and 300% status effect duration. Had Flash Cast comes automatically, Affliction comes automatically, 10 points in Triage, the increased healing by 50%, 10 points in Regrowth to get some healing. Had 4 points in Swiftness, guys, so I can move pretty quickly, get out the way. 10 points in Vigor, boost your life. 10 points in Spirit, reduces mod time. Expertise reduces skill time. Bart Skin reduces damage. Siphoner to get life steal back. 10 points in Shakar, basically increase your mod duration. 5 points in amplitude to spread the AoE effect, and 1 point in endurance. All right, guys, if you like the build, please remember to hit the like, share, and subscribe. D-World Wolf out.